Hey guys, just got done watching 2006's See No Evil, which is the first movie that came before See No Evil 2, which I reviewed recently on my channel. At the end of this video, I will put a link up like I've been recently for my last videos. And yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this review and possibly watching that one. So this movie stars Glen Jacobs as Jacob Goodnight, aka Kane, Christina Vidal, Michael J. Pagan, Samantha Noble, Stephen Riddler, Cecilia Poison, Luke Pegler, Rachel Taylor, Penny McNamee, Craig Horner, Michael Wilder, Tiffany Lamb, Sam Cotton, Corey Robinson, and Zoe Ventura as the Eyeless Woman. So basically, these criminals, they're just petty criminals, and basically they're getting escorted there by Williams, who at the beginning of the film is a policeman, and him and his partner go into a building, and there's a woman there with her eyes pulled out basically, and his mate gets killed, and Williams gets his arm cut off. So now he's got a prosthetic arm. So they go to the Blackwater Hotel, and basically the woman there, Margaret, I'm thinking it's Margaret. Please don't let me get this wrong again. Margaret, she wants them to clean it up because it's for a homeless shelter. They want to make it into a homeless shelter, but the upper levels are off limits because apparently they're seriously damaged. So basically she tells them to get mops and clean the rooms, and it looks horrid. It looks like a building that would have been condemned years ago and made unsafe, basically, and demolished. So they're going around trying to get off with each other. Some of them do, some of them don't. And basically, Kira knows Michael because Michael used to be a pimp or something. And basically, there's that tension there. And then you see this bald-headed bloke staring at them through eye holes, and he witnesses Kira having a shower, and she's got this tattoo on her body of a cross. And he's like, ew. But he's not disgusting. He's got these really rotten, dirty fingernails. And he's like, oh, and he has flies flying around him. And it's a bit creepy. Basically, Glen Jacobs is playing Jacob Goodnight. It's basically playing Kane, but as a killer. Kane the wrestler. Instead of Kane the psychopath from 2003. He's playing the psychopath killer in the movie, which comes easy for him because he's quite good at that stuff because he's had to do it since he was in the wrestling as Kane. So basically, there's a great scene in it where Richie is basically running about and he's with his mate, who is, I'm guessing, Russell. That's it, Russell. And basically, Richie gets caught with the hook. And he gets pulled along with the chain. And Russell sees it. Russell's like, oh no, oh no. And Richie's like, help me, help me. He's like, I'm getting the shit out of here. Oh no. You know. And basically, Richie gets taken. So one by one, they start getting killed or taken. And basically, they're in really gruesome ways. Now, I really liked the kills in this movie because they were gory enough for you to go, yeah. Like there's one scene where the guy was getting off with with the girl. I think he was getting off with Melissa, if I'm right. I think it was Melissa. It was Melissa. He's getting off with her, and basically he ties her to like a fire hose, and basically tries to put her down. Halfway down, it stops, and then Jacob Goodnight's pulling her up, and she goes, let me go, let me go. So he does, and she's hanging upside down. So he basically drops her, and her wrist hits the floor and snaps, and she's hanging there like, oh, right. Then these dogs come running out of nowhere and start biting her and eating her basically, and it's like, woohoo, what a good kill, you know. So I really enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was great. One of the best bits about it was when you find out, now this is a spoiler, when you find out that the woman who's running the hotel project is actually Jacob's mother. What I liked about through this movie was you saw what his childhood was like. There was flashbacks, like of his mother holding him under a shower and basically saying, once your sin's gone, you can work as the hand of God and stuff like that. And I like that, like seeing him in cages, seeing his mum pull out someone's eye and show him. And it was really good because it really showed how messed up he was and why he was messed up. Like he puts Kira in a cage, and his mum wants him to kill her, and she says she's unset and ungood basically, but she's full of sin, and he won't do it. And she pulls out a gun, he grabs hold of her, and he goes, I can see it now. He grabs hold of his mum, he throws her, and she basically gets a big spike through the eye and dies. And he's like, oh no, no, like that. And there's a bit where he's holding Kira in his arm, and it's like this. And the other girl, Christine, is told to shoot him. Well, she goes to shoot him, and there's no bullets in the gun. So he goes like this. And basically chases him. It's a really good movie. I mean, it's good for horror-wise, but it's not good any other way, really. Let's be honest. The acting's not the best in this movie, but you don't need it to be. You need it to be gory for this kind of movie. It's all about the shock factor of how bad can the murders be. So, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining. Seeing Jacob Goodnight running and actually grabbing hold of them and smashing doors in and stuff was fun because none of this walking crap you see in the movies. He was chasing them, throwing things at them and everything. It was awesome. And knowing his mum was so disturbing, what she did to him was even better because it fleshed out the character more. The rest of the cast, you kind of get little backstories to them, like how Kira used to work for Michael and stuff. And why they're there. And Williams, I thought Williams was going to be the guy, to be honest, to save everybody because he dealt with it, when he was a police officer. Because he was one of the victims. But no, he got killed. He got a big hook through the neck bit and yanked up. So that was pretty interesting because I never saw that coming. But yeah, the acting wasn't that great. The comedy was quite funny. There were some funny bits in it which made me laugh, like when the bloke and the woman, they're on the bed and she goes, there's someone watching me through that mirror. And he goes, no, let me check it out. And he goes, oh, it's a two-way mirror, right? And just as he says it, it flicks and you see Jacob Goodnight behind it, going, and he smashes right through it. I like that scene. I thought that was fun. The one thing I don't like is in this movie is constantly pointing out their eyeballs, right? Yet in the second movie, right, he doesn't do it once. From my knowledge, he doesn't do it once. And I'm like, why has he stopped pointing their eyeballs out? I don't get that. So overall, this was a WWE Studios film, which means it was basically produced by Vince McMahon. And normally those type of movies are not that, how can I put it? They're not the best films because of the way he is. But this was quite a good film. It was quite horrific in the fact that it was quite violent. And I really like that. That's the one thing that I think makes this film stand out, is it's actually quite gory. Like, there's the bit at the end where they've got Jacob and he keeps climbing up the window and Christine sticks the pole in his eye. And as he falls down, it hits on things and it tears his eye like this. And then he just hangs on something, he slides off like and falls. And then this dog walks up to him, his dead corpse, and basically pees in his eye. I thought that was hysterical. But now we know he's not dead anyway because of the sequel, which I've spoiled. If you haven't seen this movie, I've spoiled it. Oh no! Oh well. So yeah, it's a fairly decent film. I would say there's not really any tension there. There's a little bit of what's going to happen next, but it's not in the terrifying sense, in my view. It's more of the what's going to happen next because I'm really looking forward to the next kill. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would get scared of this movie because there's lots of gore in it. You know, get your girlfriend round, get the lights off, put your arm around her, have a little feel, you know, oh yeah, right? And when she screams and she's all up in you, get a bit of the bum cheeks and squeeze them, you know, whatever. Always get a horror movie to do that. That's a good idea. Anyway, going back to the film. So, yeah, I didn't mind some of the characters. I just didn't think they were great. Trying to think what else I can say about the movie. There isn't, to be honest, there's not much to say about this movie because they get there, they go around, they're being watched, then one by one they get picked off and you get these conversations and there's nothing more to it really. There's no depth to the film. The only depth to the film is Jacob Goodnight and his mother's relationship. That's the only real depth for the film. So if I had to give it a rating right now, I'd probably give it a 3.5. 3.5. Because it wasn't a bad film by any means, which I always say in these reviews. I need to stop saying that. It was a fairly good movie, and I did enjoy the killings. To be honest, like I said, without the killings, the movie would probably been pretty boring. Without the killings and the relationship between Jacob and his mum, which you find out is supposed to be a shocking twist near the end, it wouldn't have been a good movie. Those two things make the movie. If it had been a WWE Studios movie, what they would make now, because of the PG era, it would have been absolutely horrid. But saying that, See No Evil 2 is not bad, so... But, yeah, so it's a fairly good movie. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5. And I recommend giving it a watch, definitely before the second one. For the first one. Definitely before watching it, definitely watch it before you watch the second one. And... you know, get to know the character, get to know why he does what he does, and have a movie marathon, watch them both, one after the other. Because that's what I would have done if I'd have thought of it at the time. So yeah, it's a fairly good movie, which I've said multiple times now. And yeah, so give it a go. Thanks for watching, guys. And I hope you have a lovely day. Take care, and let me know what you think of See No Evil. And let me know your views on it and on views on the second one. So thanks for watching, guys, and take care and have a lovely, 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 lovely day.